Weird.
Kind of weird. I think this might be the first time we ever got into the show with Deftones.
It's true. Especially the shit off the new stuff.
What's that?
This is the newest album, Gore. Gore's our newest album.
Huh.
And, did not realize that Jerry Cantrell played a little role.
Yeah. Yeah, it did that a little, I mean, it was an all right lead. I mean,
You would think that Ruben Gonzalez, resident Deftones man, would have let us know that our sage wizard friend had a little bit of a jam on track 10 on that album. Was Phantom Bride?
You want Ruben to start giving us music advice then?
Well, he knows what we love. Damn it. He knows.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what I love to drink, but he knows what we love musically.
It's all good. Anyway, Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. First one of the year 2019.
Oh, man.
The year of old lordy.
Yeah, really. 2019. How you feel about it so far?
3-day work week, which should be a good thing. It was the longest goddamn short week I've ever had.
Yeah.
There's some funky things going on, and I'm back on that wacky-ass diet I do about 3 times a year. You know.
Oh, shit. That's why you're incredibly sober.
Yeah, just drinking the old ice
Oh,
water.
my fuck. Well, folks, I apologize in advance for all the rage that you may receive over the next 30 days.
Yeah, potentially. I mean,
it's there. The chance goes up.
I found if I vent before we do this, though, I'm able to kind of keep it under wraps a little bit. And I had to vent this afternoon, so I'm.
So you're already good.
Yeah. And since all the conversion into ketosis takes place in the liver, then I'm laying off of liquor even. Because I mean I can drink rye. I just want to wait until I'm a solid 10 days in, and I'm only like 3 days in now, 4 days, whatever.
That makes sense.
So. Yeah, so then I'll start gut punching myself, every Friday after this. So.
Well, that's all right. So you get one off to get on this healthy track, and then you can fucking really throw a couple down the old boiler.
Yeah. And I know people will be like, really a 1 month diet doesn't really do much. Actually, it kind of does.
Yeah.
It allows me to be a complete and fucking total pig from mid-November all the way till the new year.
Yeah, no shit. And not only that, you seem to also get some other benefits out of it, like the sleep regimen seems to be a little better.
Yeah,
and you get a little more quality. Yeah, your joints and shit seem to respond really well to it.
Because I got kind of a real pernicious little case of RA that kind of seems to really kind of take time off when I go on this diet.
Right.
I don't know why, because... I mean, I've asked around. I've done some fucking research, and are the two connected? Because if so, fuck, I might have to stop eating potatoes and beans the rest of my life.
Oh, you motherfucker!
But no, there's nothing to confirm it, so I don't know.
Well, it's still a pretty odd little science going on between the two, right? Keto diet's still relatively new. It's just everyone's kind of caught on to it now.
Yeah, you got it. I call it the fucking soccer mom diet, which is why I've made it even harder on myself, because fuck that,
Time to go pick up the kids.
Yeah, if you're driving a minivan and like you're bragging about, well, I'm on the keto diet. Well, here's the other problem I've got is that I really honestly think that people are allowed too many carbs. And as evidence of that, I'm like 4 days in. I'm allowed 21 grams of carbs a day. So far on the diet since the new year, I have taken in ballpark of 13 grams.
So you haven't even hit a daily allotment, and you're going into day 4.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and on top of that, then I really try to regiment the fat, too, because everybody goes into this going, hey, fucking all fat's good fat. I don't think it is. And I try to keep it at a steady 1/3 of the fat I take in off of fish.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to do, but...
It's really fucking hard to do if you live in New Mexico.
Right. Yeah, but there ain't no fucking bodies water around here, folks.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes it extra hard. So that means a lot of fucking sardines. And I'm still sick of them from the last run I'd out on the diet, but oh well. But I got them. They came in, and I'm going to be plugging those things.
That's a tough
down.
life.
Yeah.
See, like when I'm working, my primary food is bacon.
Yeah.
I'm taking in maybe 50 to 100 calories a day when I'm working.
Oh God, man!
I do not. I eat the bacon. That's it. And everything I drink is 0 calorie, or water, tea with maybe a little bit of Splenda on there to get a little sweet back in. But as far as like caloric intake, when I'm working, I'm not eating shit.
God damn. Well, but you do like 3 days. So
yeah,
I sit around going, how do you not fall out by day 5?
I do more of intermittent fasting than like a legitimate diet, because the 4 days I'm not working, my ass is having a good time.
Oh, a choice of doing intermittent fasting instead of like, I don't know, being forced upon you.
No, I just don't like eating sometimes.
I went 24 hours and not by choice because of a fucking coworker. That's neither here nor there. But it's fine.
Oh yeah, no, it was all choice for me.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyway, that's we're starting off 2019 with a bang.
Yeah, right. Feel the power. Feel the power.
I'm talking about like a Mead, metal, and MMA podcast. First thing that comes to mind is the soccer mom diet. So yeah, there you go.
Well, we're here to entertain and inform at the same time.
So yeah, since I already vented today, I'm good for the moment. How was your week?
This one was shitty.
For those of you that are sitting back with bated breath going, is he going to say, oh, this week's been great? No. Those are rare.
They are rare. It seemed to be going back to back there for a little bit. Like, I really don't have a lot. I have a lot to bitch about in normal life, but not in my job.
Yeah.
The only real thing that I have to bitch about, and I feel totally vindicated in this, is the fact that, all right, I have a birthday on New Year's Day. That's kind of an event day. It's like being born on the same day as Jeebus Christ. Sort of. I guess.
The exact same.
I think, yeah, well, I birth a new year. What did he do? So, I was kind of wanting it off, I had no plans, but I wanted it off.
Okay.
The new gal, which I had a glowing review for and then dragged it right through the old shit pile about a week later, I was going to task her with, I'd work the New Year's Eve, but I wanted the actual day off.
Yeah, day of your birth, have it off, and
wake up about 5 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening, I guess you could call it if you don't have to work the next night, and just have a good time. No obligations, nothing. And I was shot down, and I was like, cool, because I didn't really have my heart in the first place. Like I had no hopes of it or big plans for that day, so I didn't really think anything about it. When I get into work, New Year's Eve, I find that not only is the boss not working New Year's Day the morning, but the gal I wanted to cover my shift is.
Oh.
So I totally got hosed.
So the old boss lady went out and tied one on New Year's, huh?
That's it. She didn't tie on shit. She was with her kids.
Oh, fuck that. Children suck.
You telling me, although her little girl did wish me a happy birthday. So there's more than I can say about some of you pieces of shit.
You will go quickly under my blade, unlike the rest of them.
You will be spared when the mothership comes. So that really sucked. And I let her know. I was like, hey, you could have just said, I kind of want it off. I would have been pissed, but at least I'd have been like, fine, you're the boss, whatever.
Well, it's not the finest demonstration of leadership, but she could have at least put her finger about 2 joints in her nose and look at you with dead eyes and go, you want what? And then as soon as you start saying, what?
That's when I robbed the place with bail.
That's out of the Marine Corps leadership book.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a guidebook like that. Shit.
Fuck. That's
yeah. It's kind of shitty, especially a long tenured employee.
I mean, how are you supposed to
that just got done working 26 hours between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? One, because I was trying to be nice. The other, because a bitch was late.
Yeah.
So it's like I went down hard on the sword for a major holiday. Give me my birthday. It's not a major fucking holiday.
You have to keep your subordinates happy. And if you're hanging out with your children, well, fucking,
Yeah, ringing in the new year with your 4-year-old. That's really cool.
She lives on premises anyway,
Exactly. Yeah. So no reason she couldn't have worked that morning and still given me what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I got the Wednesday off instead, so,
Well, yeah, I was a little surprised because I thought when you showed up over here on Wednesday, I thought, oh, is he here because of disciplinary reasons?
You think I got shit canned?
They're like, you can take the day off, mister.
No, a bit more of a furlough, we'll call it.
Yeah.
A 1-day furlough. But really, outside of that, the birth, I consider today the last day of, birth celebration. And that's just for myself, not with others, because I've been doing other shit.
Because it's the one that falls in the week of.
Exactly. So, after a solid 10 days of celebrating the end of one year and the beginning of another, today is the last day. I got me some tasty pineapple drink.
By the way, I'm not eating potato chips or some dog fucking comes up.
Like, you motherfucker.
Right at the start of the podcast, need a treat. Need a treat.
Must tend to me, boss.
Yeah. Well, it's easier for me just to give him one.
Yeah.
Than fucking actually try to push him off for 45 more minutes. But
that's all right. Yeah, you got to tend to that man. Got to tend to that boy.
Well, he knows who runs the house, and it's him. So.
Well, this is a very demanding dog we're talking about here.
Yeah.
He's a fucking killer.
Little off.
I believe he finally accepts me.
Yeah.
Or no, accepts a bad word. He tolerates.
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 You are considered to be every bit as much a part of this house as, say, the outside dog's water bucket when I bring it in to fill it. So.
See, it's as long as I am something.
Oh, yeah, you're something, all right. Let's see.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, moving on into the Mead portion of the show. We've got our second run of the batch for the White Shadow Ranch.
Chugging along nicely?
Yeah. I was a little bit concerned at the start of it. I think I am going to pull specific gravity on it, just make sure it's doing what we want it to do.
Yeah.
Mainly because the fact is, went ahead and got the batch all raring to go. One of the last things we do before we close up the fermenter is to add in the yeast additive and yeast nutrient, or yeast activator and yeast nutrient. And I go to the freezer and saw, we're out of both.
Damn, I thought, didn't we just re-up?
Well, I'm relaying kind of how.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, got the batch put together right before we're going to seal it up. Oh shit, we don't have this. So yeah, I had to jump on Amazon. When the fuck was that? The Friday. That was the Friday before Saturday. So we did that batch Saturday before Christmas. I jumped in that night, put the order in. It was fucking here Monday. So I think we're probably in good shape, mainly because the batch has got apple and green chili in it. So I had a lot of other shit for the yeast to feed on other than just honey.
It had something to sustain it while we waited for the superfood.
Well, and those of you who don't know, I mean, the yeast will die off if all they have to feed on is honey. I mean, you're not going to make mead by just yeast, water, and honey. We always say those are the main three ingredients. They're the main ones, but they're not the only ones.
Yeah. I mean, you can get booze done with just that. But the shit that we're using, we're still keeping it old school. Just using, because everything we use is still all natural.
Yeah.
The nutrient, the activator.
Yeah. I mean, because essentially whenever you're adding other things in, the other things actually are usually those that provide some of the feed for the yeast, Yeah. And I mean, because, and the reason why you don't have to add any of that shit to wine is because grapes actually carry certain very micronutrients that are utilized for the yeast to be able to thrive on. And so that's why you don't have to add that. And there are like 3 different macronutrients, and I can't remember exactly what the names of the 3 of them are, but they're very small. They seem very minor, but it's present in grapes. It's not present in honey. So,
I'll be honest. I never really liked wine.
Yeah,
as I was when I first really became like a drinker. I didn't like the aftertaste of any wine. Felt it was a little too bitter, and all the sweet stuff was just way too sweet.
Right.
After doing the Mead thing for about 3 years now, I think, does that sound right?
It'll be 4 years actually coming up in March.
Hot damn, goddamn. I have a new appreciation for it, for sure.
Oh, for wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of anything that's overly sweet.
That and the wine and cheese thing.
Yeah.
That has given me a new appreciation just because of variety.
Good connotation and everything else. Yeah, but I mean,
totally.
And I'm not a fan of anything that's ultra sweet anyway. Even at that event, I mean, if it is a sweet wine, I'll still try it. It'll be a splash, and that's
it's pretty tough.
Yeah. But if it's something that's pretty dry, I mean, like that one that you'd contributed for this year's event, that was actually between you and our friend Chris. Those were the best ones of the evening. But both of those were substantially dry, and that's what I did.
I love dry. Yeah, that first run of Troublemaker.
Yeah.
If there's anything that I wish we could replicate from that first run, it's the dryness of that initial run.
Well, and really when it comes to mead, you're not really supposed to get a lot of dryness. They don't really break it down the way you would really describe, wine with sweet on one side, dry on the other.
Yeah.
You don't really do that with mead too much, but you can have batches you describe as, well, this one's certainly sweet for what it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Troublemaker always had a little bit of wang to it, but I liked how you took a sip, you swallowed it, and it was gone. Yeah. It was off your palate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it lingers in the nose and in the gut. That I'm cool with that.
Right.
It's when I swallow it and it's still hanging out.
I don't really think any of our batches have ever really been that way.
No.
You go to buying other ones like from Grimfrost or wherever.
Yeah, Viking Blood is one. I mean, that's probably my favorite out of. Yeah, the Bunratty is just sweet. Yeah. It's just sweet.
But I mean, but if you go to look at the ingredient label, they're adding a bunch of nonsense. It's like, why would you fucking wreck a good mead by adding all this weird passion fruit, elderberry, all this other nonsense? Like, wait a minute, you're not staying true to what the drink was. And I get it, and people will say, well, yeah, but the world moves on. We're not stuck in the year 1066 or anything. I get it.
Yeah, and if you can do an elderberry mead really well, then rock it.
Yeah.
You know.
But all the added shit, and then and then they wait for the fermentation process to be done, so they can basically wait for it to get in secondary, and then they add honey. I get it. People know that it's a honey wine. I don't know who they're really trying to please here. Is it the people going, you said this is honey wine. I don't taste any honey.
Well,
no,
yeah. Well,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't taste honey.
It's just like that connotation works for like pot. You go to the medical marijuana dispensary, like, hey, man, we got some blueberry kush. Guess what, motherfucker? That shit ain't going to taste like blueberry. It's not.
You took kind of a weird right turn, but okay. All right.
Well, I mean, like saying...
It's like going to the gas station. It's getting unleaded, but they give you the premium.
Okay. So you get a bottle of mead expecting like this is going to be a honey overload for your face.
Yeah.
And it's really the essence of the honey that you're supposed to really be appreciating.
The honey, I mean, you shouldn't taste honey because the reason you shouldn't taste honey, that's been fermented. It's been converted from a sugar base, which is what it is, by the yeast into an alcohol.
Right.
So if you're drinking mead and you taste honey, somebody's been adding honey back into it. Somebody out there assumes you're a dummy.
Well, fuck, man. I mean, we got like Captain Crunch wine coolers, I think, now, and just all this ridiculous malt liquor bullshit,
right?
That distorts the palates of drinkers into thinking like, well, I want everything to taste like bubble gums and fucking cherry lollipops,
right? And then they bitch that it's like, hey, why are they marketing this to children? Because they're making it taste like shit children would drink.
Yeah, it's y'all's fault for wanting this coconut-flavored bullshit to begin with.
Yeah.
Damn, I never thought we'd have rage for the mead part.
For the mead part, yeah. Shit. There it is.
Hold on. I need to calm down.
All right, moving on over to the metal side of all things here. Update on our own stuff going on. Because a lot of things we utilize in doing this podcast, we also utilize on some of our music stuff, our studio stuff, primarily our mixer.
Yes, this is a battle beast of a mixer right here.
Spent the better part of a day actually researching because I have an idea of what I want.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a dangerous thing because I never know. It's like, is that actually a thing? Is this actually out?
Does this exist?
Yes, and that's exactly it. I thought, you know what I want? I want a rack-mounted mixer.
Right.
Put it in a rack box, so that way we don't really have to move it around. We just open it up, the front and back panel,
power it up,
plug it in, and it's ready to go. And then when we're done, just coil up the mic cable and button it back up.
Yeah.
Such a beast does not exist as I need it, because I have not found one that meets that criteria. There are plenty of them out there. Most of them are interfaces rather than, say, a mixer. I'm not a big fan of that, mainly because there are only 2 XLR inputs, 2 mic inputs.
Yeah.
If I find anything with more than that, which is 4 and up, they don't have a USB connect, which is what we have to have in order to be able to do our production value
do you think
work
maybe
on our...
like the rack-mounted boards and shit we're thinking of aren't like really good for USB interface? Maybe that's more like higher end?
Well, you see, now that's the other thing you can talk about, too, is that there are other means of connectivity between your mixer setup into your digital audio workstation, your DAW, which for us is a laptop.
Yeah.
But that connectivity is not utilized by USB typically. I don't know why it's not. USB is the common currency of our digital age.
Right.
Generally, they want you to have... like a FireWire port or something, or actually more than that. FireWire is old now, but
yeah, like USB 3.0 probably is the
maybe and higher. I mean, and the other thing too is because the gear people, if they can sell you something, I mean, if they're selling you less, it's not doing them any favors. So, if there is one more, in this case, yeah, we could probably find a rack-mounted mixer that does not have a USB out, but would actually have a more traditional out via another XLR or actually other cabling that they've got in place now. And that would go into an interface, which would then go into DAW. But the problem with that is that I don't want to buy extra gear.
Yeah, essentially we're adding an extra step for something we already can get done pretty well with what we got.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's just wear and tear and the finite grains of sand that are found around here can find their way into anything.
Any amount of jostling. We've taken this board of ours to a couple of road trips to Austin
this has survived 2 drunken trips to Austin.
Yeah, and drunken Friday nights every time when we're moving. Yeah. We move it a foot and a half, but trust me, that's a rough foot and a half. So anyway, I'm still looking for some solutions on that. For any audiophiles out there that have a different idea, but the fact is, we mix everything down through. Well, it's not Pro Tools, but it's a program.
Yeah. Oh, we use Audacity. It's basically the best open source fucking audio program on the market.
Yeah, so that's
And
what
it's
we
free.
utilize, and we do that through the laptop. Now, what other thing could we utilize to plug in? You're going to have to add an extra chain, and that would be through an audio interface.
Yeah.
And again, if we're already doing it
An
direct
extra
from board,
step we're adding for something we can already do.
yeah, so it's a little disturbing. But so anyway, but yeah, if any gear makers out there want to go to make a 4-channel or a 6-channel rack-mounted board with a USB interface, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, let us know about your exploits, please.
But well, and then the other thing too is that I find a lot of it tends to be the new movement is gear that have these weird antennas that look like we're in the mid 2000s. But it's new shit, and it's new technology, because for venues you're playing at, it's supposed to pick up the Wi-Fi, so then that way you can pull it down through Wi-Fi rather than have anything wired. Well, call me fucking old school, but I like to have shit wired.
Yeah, dude. When it comes to audio stuff, I like a good, solid wired connection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sucker. I know if something's late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can just tell when that sync is off.
Yeah, and I mean, and we've figured out how to deal with latency, and I know that's the other reason why they don't want to utilize a direct USB in.
Right.
It's because you do have a latency, and if it's even off,
Yeah, unless you're rocking the high-end, like, hardware in your laptop or your PC, you're going to have some latency.
Yeah. Yeah, no matter what it is, and that's the reason why they put out FireWire so many years ago for that purpose, is because of the fact it was supposed to remove latency, and
And pretty much if you're rocking a MacBook, you're allegedly already good to go as far as audio recording of any sort.
I don't want to drop a couple grand.
Yeah, I don't want us to be one of those Apple people. You have an iPod Touch, that's bad enough.
Yeah, we'd have to go out and start wearing women's jeans and fedoras.
I need to go speak to a genius.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into some things you've got, because I got a pretty exhaustive list of some things to be anticipated in 2019, but I don't want to make it all about gear and then that list. Let's see what do you got going on, sir?
Well, I tried out to be in this band. They accepted me, and I'm about to go on a 30-date tour with them.
Oh, good man. Good man.
Right on. After that, I'm going to come back and cure cancer and AIDS in the same day.
Oh, right on. You sound like you're somebody important.
Don't either. No, nothing that great.
Yeah.
As far as music, I finally was able to get Rainier Fog on a CD. I had a bitch of a time. It's like I forgot how to burn audio CDs. I haven't had to do it in so long.
And you want to do that because your ride.
Yeah, I got a shitty pickup right now, which I hope didn't hear me say that. Which hopefully will be getting an upgrade here in the near future. But I have a 6 CD changer in there, and it's chock full of I think there's a Elevate album in there that you gave me.
Oh my God, yeah.
A disc that you burned for me for
Origins?
fucking Origins. The one that you're like, I bought it for the T-shirt. You can have the shitty music.
It's like 4 years ago.
As long as it's been in my pickup ever since.
Wow. Okay.
That shows you how many CDs I've put in there.
Shows you how many fucks you give.
Yeah,
Good man.
exactly.
Good man.
I forgot it was on there till the other day. I got Devin Townsend's Deconstruction in there. A disc you had burned for NHL 13 for walkout music.
Holy crap.
I'm borrowing that shit. And now I finally have Rainier Fog in there, and I can listen to it. I have one speaker working in that pickup.
Oh,
And it's the rear left.
Oh, the quality one.
Yeah, the best one. I mean, really the best one if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I was kind of pissed because I listened to it. I was like, damn, this is really great to have it, but it just seems like something's missing. For some reason, and I'm sure it's probably on me because, again, I forgot how to fucking burn an audio CD. It left off maybe. Yeah, it goes right from fly into drone.
Wow.
And I kind of like that transition a lot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like fly and maybe are the two mellowest, except for the closer. These are your two kind of mellow jams. Maybe's not super mellow, but
Maybe's kind of more of an up. That's like the only real upbeat one on the whole record.
Yeah, Maybe is the upbeat one, and Fly is upbeat, but with
God damn, it turns into an emo record if you pull that one off.
Yeah, right. But going right from Fly into drone is kind of neat because it goes right from like nice mellow Fly into fucking grungy, disgusting drone.
Yeah.
But I was a little bummed out to not have Maybe on there, so now I got to reburn it again because my OCD won't let me.
Of course not. Shit, no, because you're not rocking the completionist.
Yeah,
on
I need 10 tracks. I don't need 9. I need 10. As far as like new shit, just a couple things coming out in like 2 months that I'm looking forward to. Soilwork has a new album coming out on the 11th. You said, right? I knew it was the beginning
I've got
of January,
a full
but I think it was the 11th.
list that I'm going to give credit to Loudwire, and it is what they are assuming will all be records coming out in the year 2019. I don't want to linger on it too long because half this shit I wouldn't listen to anyway. AC/DC at the top of the list of shit I would not listen
Next.
to. But, yeah. Alter Bridge.
Next.
Amon Amarth.
All right.
Live shows, right?
Dude, yeah, their live shows are kick ass.
Andy Black. Anthrax is expected to have one out. Other anticipated ones, Asking Alexandria. Fuck off.
Yep.
Avatar.
Nope.
Avenged Sevenfold.
I'm so hot and cold with that band, man.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Like, I when they first started, I was like, this is pretty kick ass. Then they got really popular. I was like, this sucks. Then their drummer dies, and Mike Portnoy steps in for an album. I'm like, okay, I'm back. You kind of got one of the greatest fucking prog metal drummers to ever live.
I'm listening.
I was like, all right. And then he fucking immediately leaves because that guy doesn't want to be in a band. He wants to do his own shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, hot and cold on that.
Yeah, their last one was The Stage, came out in 2016.
Oh, that's a very creative name.
Bad Religion. God, they hadn't put one out since 2013. Bad Wolves. Nope. I'm off of that one.
Oh, man, it's going to be another one of those Alien Ant Farm bands. Only they got lucky, and the singer of the song they were covering died like weeks before it came out.
Jesus, man.
Well,
that's a good way. That's a good way to sell copies.
Well, she was supposed to do it with them.
Yeah,
that was the whole plan all along. But I guarantee you wouldn't have gotten that much radio play if she was on it.
Right.
All right, man. And I'm not trying to talk shit about Dolores O'Riordan dying because I love that bitch.
Body Count. Other anticipated ones for 2019. Bring Me the Horizon.
Fuck that. I will bring you a sandwich.
Buck Cherry. I don't know what to make of these guys because, God damn it, they sound... There are certain tracks I think that's all right. It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't put me in like a yellow card frame of reference or something like that. But still, there's some shit, and it's like you're purely fucking whipping out this bullshit to get played on radio.
I had him pegged as a pop rock Motley Crue.
Kinda, but every once in a while, then they fucking come out with something that's not bad.
That's what you tell me that kind of boggles my mind because this clearly has to be older shit.
Yeah.
Because I've heard their first two albums, and I was like, okay, that first song from that first album, God, I can't remember. Fuck it doesn't matter.
Well, but their last one they put out was titled Rock and Roll, and I found it to be really not that. But that's fine. All right. Other anticipated releases 2019, Carcass, Chevelle, which
very curious about that.
Yeah, I was really interested to see if they actually had a date yet, and that's still TBA. So, but anyway,
this is an album being done by three brothers. It's going to take some time.
Yeah. And we mean people that are related, not people that are African Americans.
We're talking white folks here.
Children of Boredom or Bodom. Dark Throne. Do what?
Peace. They put out an album called "If You Want Peace, Prepare for War," and that hit me right when I was angry and found out about what Jägermeister was. Yeah. It was great, but now.
Well, their last one, if you want to find out what kind of pretentious assholes they are, the last one's titled I Worship Chaos.
You got to be careful with these Swedish motherfuckers that are like guitar virtuosos, man.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Dark Throne, they're expected to have one out. Death Angel, no thanks. Deftones, which they've actually already got a single out, I think, right?
I'm not sure, actually. The guy to ask might be here in about an hour.
Right. The Devil Wears Prada.
That was a terrible movie.
Yeah, and apparently that'd be a great name for a metal band.
Wrong.
Devin Townsend, Empath.
That's going to be a make or break album for me, and my role as a current Devin Townsend fan. It's
because you little arsed off when he fired everybody, right?
I thought it was kind of shitty. It's like you put out Transcendence, which might be the greatest thing Devin Townsend project did. That album, top to bottom, is pretty solid, but. Then right after that, and touring on it for, I think, a year and a half, 2 years almost.
Yeah.
Doing the Royal Albert Hall, doing all that shit. and then you shuffle these assholes off to the curb so you can go do your Dewey Cox fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
So it better be damn good because he put 4 top-notch musicians out of work. I haven't seen any of them pop up yet.
Other anticipated records coming out this year: Dream Theater, Distance Over Time. That'll be released February 22nd. Evanescence, who hadn't put out a new one in it'll be 8 years.
I'm still waiting for the Amy Lee sex tape.
Exodus, no thanks. 2014. Lead singer looks like a fat version of the dude that was Sammy Hagar.
Looks like singer Testament.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those in those bands.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else? Fear Factory. They put out Genexus back in 2015. I'm kind of curious how they're going to evolve from that.
Well, this band has been so inconsistent.
Yeah.
I love Fear Factory. I got to see them.
I call them hit or miss, but they're more miss, hit, miss.
Yeah. Back in the day, dude, like when they put out Demanufacture, great fucking album. They put out Obsolete, the best album they had ever made.
Right.
Archetype, probably a close second, which came out right after Obsolete. But then they got rid of Raymond Herrera, the drummer, who introduced me to fucking Japanese wrestling games on the PS1, which that's a story I'll share for another week.
Yeah.
But this new Fear Factory album needs to be a ball burster for me to even give it any time of day.
Yeah, another one I'm kind of curious about, and I don't even know that I listened to their last album that came out, and that's Filter. They're expected to have one out this year.
God, when was that?
2016. It was Crazy Eyes.
I'm not sure I've even listened to it.
I'm not familiar with it. I mean, Filter's one of those, like, God, man, they've been around a long time. You know, and
yeah, 90s.
Yeah.
They had fucking Hey Man, Nice Shot on Demon Knight, that Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah.
And that came out in like 95.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Short Bus, I think, came out in 94.
I was still in the core when those guys came out.
I was in fucking high school, yeah. I was in high school when Take a Picture came out and was really big.
All right, moving on. The rest of 2019 anticipated releases this year: Flesh God Apocalypse. No thanks.
Yeah.
Greta Van Fleet, who just put out the Anthem of the Peaceful Army like 4 months ago.
Yes, and we've talked about it a lot ever since it came out. Oh, wait. No, we really haven't.
From the Fires really was a fucking turn on. I was like, damn, here it is. It's a reincarnated Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Anthem of the Peaceful Army, not so much.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, man. There's this thing I hope wouldn't happen, but it kind of did.
Yeah, definitely a sophomore album, that's for sure. And I think it'd be awesome if these guys were assholes enough to put out a greatest hits this year. There's 2 records for you, bitches. We're gonna
make it a double. Just make it basically both albums in a double album package.
A repackage, right? Halloween expect to have an album out this year.
I remember those guys.
Hell Yeah is an interesting one. Fill us in. I got to let this goddamn dog out.
Yeah, I know. I was afraid he's going to bite my penis off, but he's just being nice and need to go piss himself. Yeah, Hell Yeah, of course. Vinnie Paul's gone. God rest his soul, as they say. But I always talk shit about Hell Yeah on this podcast. They, I guess, had recorded they were getting ready to record a new album when Vinnie Paul's heart blew up. And we're probably going to get the finished version of that song, of that album, which is cool. But I guarantee you, it's not going to be good, but people are going to say it's good.
They're going to be obligated to say it's good, right?
I'm not obligated to say it's good.
No, but I mean, but people will feel it's like you can't talk bad about the dead, so therefore you can't talk bad.
I didn't talk good about the living.
Yeah.
That doesn't get you a golden ticket. Say, well, you know, this guy murdered my dog and poured sugar in my gas tank, but he got hit by that train, and now, I kind of miss him.
Other anticipated albums for this year: Highly Suspect, which I think that says it all.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the fuck that is.
In Flames.
Curious about that.
Yeah, coming out March 1st. It's titled I, the Mask. Yeah, we'll see.
Are you sure it might be like a Roman numeral 1,
yeah,
maybe?
1, the Mask. Yeah, no, it's an I, comma, the Mask.
God damn, that sounds dumb. I'm already kind of like,
Already pissed me off just by the time.
Yeah, that's it.
They're saying King Diamond is rolling out one this year.
Oh, I bet that guy's vocal cords have just gotten better with age.
I'm not sure what's up with that. Kill Switch Engage.
Kind of curious.
Yeah, because Incarnate, right, was the last one, came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Because I think the guitar player had some health issues.
Yeah.
Kind of put the band on the shelf for a little bit.
This one, and Ruben's going to disagree, but it's not my style of music, and it has never been my style of shit, and that's Korn. Looking to put out a new record this year.
I think that's the age gap at play right there.
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't, but it's weird because we're really kind of into some other shit, like Nine Inch Nails.
I think
and,
we're close
some of the
enough, especially since we both kind of went into rock first and then went out.
Yeah.
We're always going to have a kind of a core sense of what we both dig. But that Korn self-titled album came out, I think, 94, 95.
Right.
I was 13 years old and a pissed-off, fat, redheaded semi-high school, middle school kid.
Yeah, I was still really in the grunge shit, 94, 95. I mean, that was still really my wheelhouse. So,
I didn't appreciate grunge till high school.
Yeah. Lamb of God, expect to put out one this year. This one is a
That'd be
Roman numeral. It is 7, Sturm und Drang. So.
Wait, that's already out.
Or that was their last one.
Oh, okay.
Limp Bizkit's supposed to put one out.
Wes Borland is a great guitar player and a pretty gnarly little personality at that, but the Limp Bizkit gravy train can't be producing that much more milk, man.
No, but they do have a fucking crazy fan base, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, well, I was a part of it for about 5 years.
Mark Morton putting out Anesthetic. That's going to be released March 1st.
Yep, we listened to, they'd put out one, actually had Randy Blythe on there because Mark Morton's a guitar player from Lamb of God. And guess what? It sounded just like Lamb of God.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the other guest tracks probably sound a little different. I hope. I don't know. Is it bad that it just sounds like another Lamb of God album?
Well, your Lamb of God fans aren't going to throw a fit.
Yeah. But would your Mark Morton fans?
But if you're a Mark Morton fan, you're a fan of Lamb of God.
That's true.
All right. Mastodon, they're going to be cranking out one this year. Their last actual full-length album was Emperor of Sand, 2016, late 2016, but I still think Cold Dark Place, but that one's not a full-length record.
Yeah,
so.
and not really heralded by anybody but us.
Yeah, we're it, yeah. Megadeth, they're expected to release one late this year.
That last album, whose name
Dystopia?
I can't remember. Dystopia.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
sir.
thought that was a pun.
It was good. It was really good. Megadeth has been consistently good. Not great or shitty, just good.
I'm not a fan. I never have been, never will be, but
yeah.
I respect what the Angry Ginger does. So,
hey, that's really all you can do with Dave Mustaine.
Yeah. This is a weird one, and that is Ministry is anticipated to put out one this year. And they just put out one, 6 months ago.
Nobody really wanted either, man. That album got hate immediately.
Well, it's got the letters KKK in the album title.
And the first solo off, the single off of it was that Antifa song he wrote.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's like, guess what? That shit's kind of all cooled off now, it seems.
I get it that, people think that Rage Against the Machine isn't touring anymore or doing anything, so therefore there's a vacuum. There's not.
There's really not. Music, oh, God, man.
Right.
Music and opinion really don't go hand in hand.
Misery Index,
Yeah,
they're expected to put out one March 8th. It's going to be titled Rituals of Power. Mushroom Head, which I'm curious on this one.
I used to really like Mushroom Head, too.
I'm really kind of curious to see what they come up with on this.
I liked Mushroom Head more than Slipknot. And it was the same gimmick. It was the same gimmick. Big group with wearing, like, a whole costumes.
Yeah.
But they had a better gimmick. They actually had, like... it was like Linkin Park, but Slipknot.
Yeah.
They had a little rap guy, and they had a melodic guy.
Right.
And then they had all this layered music with the 6 other dudes. Wasn't bad.
Back to Loudwire anticipated records 2019, Napalm Death.
I'll always listen to it at least once.
Nightwish, which I'm kind of curious about, mainly because the fact is that they seem to be a revolving door of lead singers here lately, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is now, but Tarja was the main singer, who I believe actually might be on this list later down the road. I'm so tired of mezzo-soprano metal bands. I just can't do it anymore. Yeah. I can't. It's a trend that needs to die. Now, these are beautiful women doing great music. Sure. It's just when one did it really, really well, then that's all these European metal bands look for. It's like, we need a really good-looking, pale-skinned opera singer to come do metal for us.
Yeah, man. I'm getting really tired of it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Nothing More. Going to have a new one coming out this year.
Meh.
Of Mice and Men.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Overkill. I don't care.
I know who that is, but I didn't even know they were still active.
Papa Roach. Speaking of not knowing that they're still active.
It must have been a year.
Let me see. Last album we have. Hold on. Somebody's trying to fucking message me. Well, hey, it must be podcast time, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Papa Roach, as Crooked came out, 2017. Crooked Teeth. All right. Periphery. Periphery 3 Select Difficulty was their last one from 2016.
Yeah, the double album.
They're expected to be putting out sometime later this year.
I'll listen to it, but I'm not anticipating it.
Bizarre. Puddle of Mud.
Wes Scantlin ain't dead yet.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or in prison. Yeah.
Fuck.
Queensryche putting out one. Actually, it's going to be March 1st. It's titled The Verdict.
I heard a single off of it. I checked out.
The Raconteurs, they'll have one coming out sometime this year.
No, Jack White's a cunt.
And he looks like it on the photo that Loudwire has posted.
Yeah, why is he trying to be like the lead singer of The Cure, man?
He's really proud of his pomade.
Yeah.
Right?
All he needs is a little white cake makeup on his face, and he could start singing Love Song with us on stage.
Yeah. Rammstein, going to have one coming out this year.
I'm kind of excited. First one, I think 12 years.
Last album was 2009, so 10 years. It was titled Liebe ist für alle da. That means we have love for all of you.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
It's like you know someone that's German.
It's almost like semi-fluent. Red Hot Chili Peppers. They'll be putting one out.
Bitches.
Yeah. I don't really care. Rob Zombie.
I don't like when he tried to mix his White Zombie style jams with 70s rock. Just didn't work for me.
I do like his creativity on album titles, though, because the last one from 2016 was The Electric Warlock Acid Witch Satanic Orgy Celebration Dispenser.
That looks really good on a poster. We can fit that on those really tiny fucking pins that people like to buy.
Sabaton's going to have one coming out this year. Septic Flesh. Say Anything actually is coming out a couple of weeks from now. Oliver Appropriate is the name of it. I don't necessarily know that I get into Say Anything, but
I'm not really familiar with them.
They're cunts. Slipknot. They're going to have one allegedly coming out later this year. You were mentioning them earlier.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, man.
Here's one you mentioned right off the bat, and that is Soilwork. Theirs is coming out next week.
Yeah.
It's Verklighten is the title of that one.
Yeah, the first one I heard, the first single sounded really, really good. Sounded like a little bit of classic Soilwork, but still brand fucking new. I'm cool with that.
Steel Panther, who just put one out seemingly weeks ago, but it's going to be coming out this year apparently, but Lower the Bar was 2017. You were talking about Tarja a while ago on Nightwish. Yeah. She's going to have one coming out this year herself.
Oh, man. Why not? Because you're guaranteed. You're guaranteed if you're one of those singers. You join a band, you put out a couple good albums, people get familiar with you, you fucking bail, do your own solo shit because you're the voice.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Testament. They're going to be putting out one allegedly later this year.
I'm always curious about New Testament releases.
I'm curious about them in more ways than that. Tony Iommi going to have one coming out apparently. Wow. His last solo release was 05.
Damn. He must have had the itch finally, eh?
Yeah. The next one on the list, Be Still My Beating Heart. Tool, which we'll get to in a moment. Venom Inc., they're expected to have one out this year, as is Vimic, and While She Sleeps, and Whitechapel. And I believe, and ex-Japan, but fuck that.
And let's also not forget Soen, which has one coming out February 1st.
Yeah,
that was not on the list, but
they don't make their list for some reason, but there it is. But anyway, that's the list of anticipated records from top to bottom, pretty much, by Loudwire for 2019. Yeah.
So what we got here, which the last part will lead into what you just want to talk about, Iggy Azalea. Is that how you say it last name?
Yeah.
Iggy Azalea, that white rapper gal with the big ass.
Yeah.
Apparently she wore a Cradle of Filth t-shirt, and everyone hates her for it because, Cradle of Filth like to make pretty gnarly t-shirts.
Right.
It basically just said Jesus is a cunt. And she was like wearing that and took pictures. Now everyone's like, oh, enraged. I was like, God, high school kids were wearing this shirt 20 years ago, motherfuckers. Yeah. We talked about the Albuquerque mayor.
Oh, yeah, Tim Keller.
Tim Keller, the mayor metalhead resident of New Mexico that I think is really cool.
I think he just grabs onto whatever. He bites the skis of what is deemed cool, I think. But
no. Well, he's doing it well because he's getting nothing but praise for it.
Yeah.
Which,
hey, man, in politics, if it's working for you, keep it up.
Yeah. Signed a bill wearing a Pantera holiday sweater. It's always very low-key shit with this guy. Very cool. And lastly, certain vocals are done on a certain album that might be coming out on a certain date in 2019.
Yeah, talking obviously about Tool, because everybody's been giving Maynard a bunch of shit saying, you're not putting out a record, blah, 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 which, frankly, at that point, they're just trying to be assholes about it, which then Maynard got on fucking Twitter again, I think, and started just trolling these motherfuckers.
Right.
But
he's good at it.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
really good at
Stay
it.
with your strengths, right? That's the other
yeah,
mantra.
that's right. Right.
But apparently, and through all of that trolling, also it came to light, oh, by the way, the vocals are done.
Oh man, he could have just said that too.
Yeah, no, but you
that's
gotta make them eat shit. You gotta make them eat shit.
Now, and giving Maynard a lot of praise here, but do you think that now that we know that the album, as far as the guys coming in and doing their parts, that's done. All that's left is to build it, layer it, and do all that other shit, which might take another 6 months.
The mastering is kind of, I mean, if there's any other band, I was like, yeah, we're going to get a record in 2 or 3 months. But,
yeah, that's a 50-50 thing with like recording and then mixing.
It's Tool. It could be a 6-month process.
Do you think, and this is just based on the opinion of the people at this table, with how shitty Eat the Elephant was, that your expectation for this Tool album is even higher or tempered down a bit lower?
It's higher for me. It should be lower. It should, but it's higher. Yeah. It's actually higher. I expect it's like, look, well, apparently you didn't put all your best shit into that. So now,
Ronnie James, you better put it into Tool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, good fucking analogy, but yeah. But I expect this one to be, the problem is going to be, I think they're fucked, because I expect this to probably be every bit as good as picking up right where they left off in 06. It's been 13 years.
Yeah, people already expect this to be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's a Tool album.
And unfortunately, I've fallen into that crevasse.
With us hearing Eat the Elephant and being like, it's just not what I wanted it to be. There's some gleams of what I've wanted. There's just not enough of it there for me to care anymore.
Yeah.
This Tool album is make or break. Really? But really, are we going to get another Tool album after this? Probably not.
This is probably it, I guess.
And maybe it should be.
Unless there's some weird thing and they go, hey, surprise, surprise, this is our time 1, time 2 is coming out next year.
Which I'm surprised Yari Menopause is not on that big 2019 release calendar.
He's been stuck in his golden sauna.
Oh, God, just working on them. I'm so glad I don't hear that motherfucker.
I don't hate the Winter Sun fans.
Yes, I do.
You know what? Actually, I do. I take that back. They're all a bunch of dicks.
I don't hate it. I fucking pity them, man.
Well, because I understand where they're at. See, because those guys...
we used to be there, too.
Yeah, man.
And then we got a little taste of that nectar. We got time one. It's like, oh, God, this is fucking delicious.
And then after that...
And then went into ketosis, and we started shedding weight, maybe listening and eating some better things.
Yeah.
And then Yari comes back with his goddamn McRib of an album, The Four Seasons. And we're like, fuck you, bitch. We were hungry for time 2 for years. And he told us to go fuck ourselves. So fuck you.
That might be the best comment of 2019.
Hey, well, we're off to a hell of a start then.
Shit. All right, let's move on to MMA before we
got to wish one happy birthday to Marilyn Manson, dude. He's turning 50 today. What's your favorite Marilyn Manson song?
That one, yeah, sure.
Do you like the one cover he did or the other cover that he did?
Man, I was never that guy. I was You're talking about maybe a weird, golf,
weird age gap. Like anything I grabbed while I was in grade school and you're out experiencing life. That's where the gap's going to be. As soon as I get out of high school, I kind of pick back up.
Right. Well. Let me see. What else do we have going on? Is that pretty good for the metal portion?
I do believe so, yes.
All right. Let's get to MMA. What we got for the card tomorrow?
There is no card tomorrow.
So we're not running all that late then. Cool.
No, there are no fights till next Saturday for the debut on ESPN, the Cejudo Dillashaw fight. Which, for that fight, you'd think I'd be a little more pumped for it. I'm kind of not.
I kind of am because I like TJ Dillashaw. But
that's the only reason.
That's about it.
Do you regret Mighty Mouse not taking the fight when he had the chance? I kind of really feel like that's going to be his one big regret.
Maybe.
Whether he views it as one or not, I think it's a big fuck up.
I think it depends on the legacy that TJ Dillashaw has.
Yeah. If TJ
becomes if he becomes the fucking Anderson Silva of 135 and 125. If he becomes that guy and we're like here 6 years later, Mighty Mouse is going to be kicking himself in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if he goes in and loses a Cejudo, you know.
Yeah, well, then fucking my boss is like, I'll be over here in Singapore, motherfuckers, making that bank.
I don't think is going to happen. I don't think the Cejudo's got the tools. Look, don't get me wrong. The guy has advanced amazingly from his first fucking entry into the MMA. But man,
well, we're talking a 135 fighter making a 125 cut here.
Yeah, but we're also talking about a guy that fucking has power at a crazy level at that low weight class.
Yeah. Let's talk real quick about last week.
Jon Jones. Jon Jones. Daddy's back, DC.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then they unceremoniously just fucking stripped DC, you know, the day before the fight, right?
Oh no, he handed the belt. They didn't have to strip him. He resigned.
He is a company man.
Quit. He fucking quit.
He is a company man. That's
because you know what'd been great is if he had fucking quit and like given the belt up, and then the next day fucking fight is pulled because like Jones fucking tears his groin or something, and we have no light heavyweight champion.
Or a weird last minute PED test.
Oh well, shit! That nearly derailed this one.
Yeah, well, no, they would have just given it back to him. 'Cause that's what they did fucking last time, right? Basically. Right.
Yeah, Jon Jones is a 3-time light heavyweight champion in the world, and he's never lost the belt.
Sorry, lady.
He lost it to a pregnant woman in Albuquerque. And a dick pill at a fucking truck stop, apparently.
Yeah, well, but I mean, and I forced myself to listen to that Rogan podcast with Jeff Nowitzki. The science is definitely weird.
It's really is it weird because we just don't grasp it, or is it weird because it sounds like it's fucking made up a week and a half ago?
Either. But I think it's more the first than the second.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when they start talking about these picograms, and then you get assholes on Twitter and people on fucking Bloody Elbow and other MMA sites that all become now geniuses on, you know,
like
science.
Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub.
Motherfuckers took shop class in high school instead of chemistry, so they don't even have a basis at the most elementary level.
They get birdhouse, but they can't tell you why the baking soda and vinegar thing works.
But what the amount was found in Jon Jones' system, according to Jeff Nowitzki. If you took a grain of salt and cut it into 68 million parts, Jon Jones had like 80 of those parts.
Yeah.
That's such a minute. It's got to be something left over from other supplement fucking, you know, the one that got him last time. It's got to be a leftover.
And now here's another side of it that I've heard on the many rumblings of yours is from a bit more of a reputable source, I think. Mine sadly does come from Brendan Schaub, but it apparently comes from the USADA website.
Okay.
So as far as picograms go of this turinabol that was in his blood, the test results before December were like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
The one that got flagged in Nevada apparently was 60.
Right.
So that's a pretty big jump. Now the argument can be made that maybe USADA might be onto something as far as like catching Jon Jones down the road for something he's doing right now. A little Lance Armstrong action going on here.
Maybe.
But why would Jon Jones do that? Knowing if he gets busted again, that's fucking it.
And on those kind of and on those kind of low levels, you're not deriving anything that's going to actually be of benefit.
Yeah, but it really is the question is why the sudden huge jump? That's a huge jump, even for a small amount, I think.
But you could also make the argument if this is one that actually settles into, say, vertebra and through the spinal system.
It's going to metabolize his body for 7 years. He said
it's possible. It is possible.
Man, I just don't know.
If you've ever done LSD, I guarantee you're going to test positive. If they ever did a spinal tap on you, you will test positive.
Yeah, that and probably like hair follicle, I bet as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean but I'm talking like through your lifetime.
Yeah.
If you're an old fucking man and you did some fucking acid back in junior high, as you do.
Okay, when you die, because I'm sure it'll be when I'm here, not because of me, but you'll just go make a sandwich and just keel over. I'm going to get your spinal fluid out.
Well, you're going to be shit out of luck because I've never done acid. So, nah.
I will find someone else's spinal fluid to smoke then.
Yeah, if there's a rash of grave robbery, we know what it is. So.
It's going to be me looking for that next high.
The other one, I don't want to talk about any of the other ones except this one. We do have a champ now.
Yeah, and kudos to her.
Amanda Nunes is the
knocked out Cyborg in under a minute.
She's the real fucking deal. Now, I had questions. I thought she doesn't want to fight Cyborg. I was wrong. I'd said she's going to bow out 2 days before the fight. She doesn't want to fight her. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I said, even if she gets in, Cyborg is going to tear her apart. I was wrong.
I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong every step of the way. Funny thing is, I really feel like this also makes Valentina look even better.
Sure,
because Valentina went the distance.
Absolutely, and in our opinion,
with this
might have
now
won.
monster. Yeah. With this currently now striking monster, you knock out the scariest striker in female MMA of all time,
right?
In under a minute. Faceplant. That was a faceplant.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like when Rousey knocked out what's her face, Koea.
Yeah,
it was like one of those. And then for Cyborg to get pissed afterwards, like, oh, they just kicked me out the cage.
Well, you know why?
Yeah, Rogan got knocked out.
Rogan said he will not. After that DC interview, was the second loss to Jones that got wiped off. But he'd said, because he'd violated his own little, octagon rule that he will not interview a knocked out fighter.
The Overeem interview, he's like, I clearly felt a tap. It's like, no, dude, you're just really loopy right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't a disrespect to her. That's just what. That's the rules of the road.
Rogan said he's going to stop interviewing KO'd fighters, and there you go. That's
fucking just needs to stop interviewing everybody.
Yeah,
let
some
the
of them,
dickheads in the back deal with it.
Maybe that might be the other way too. Because if you do get knocked the fuck out, you got to take a long walk before you get back to where they would have something set up. But I like the excitement at the end of a fight to see, especially in the champion ranks. Seeing a new champion crowned.
Yeah, if this is a 5-round fight where you got two warriors going at it, male or female, then I want to hear both sides.
I do want to see him bring back the whole gallery of fighters, though, at the end of for the post fight.
I do miss that. Yeah, but then they're so fucking worried about overlooking people.
Yeah, not everybody wins a trophy.
Yeah. But we'll get more into the next week's card next week.
All right. Hey, let's wrap it up. I have no liquor to drink. That's right.
Oh, this is going to be a really fun night.
Yeah. Let's
you just get to see me as I really am.
Go to our picks. I'm drinking a little bit of that H2. Whoa.
I've had me about a 4-ounce bottle of Power Shot.
All right.
So I feel like I'm going to be really good and cleansed. On top of that, I've also had about 3 beer.
Yep. Good
and we're going beer.
Yeah.
I'm going beer.
All right. Picks on the music side of things tonight.
I want to go back to that. I'm going to pick that Deftones jam with Cantrell, that Phantom Bride.
I'm going to go Soundgarden, Jesus Christ Pose.
Ooh, Jesus Christ Pose.
Yeah. MMA, we've got really nothing, but if you were to go back and rewatch a fight, I would rewatch Amanda Nunes fucking knocking out Cyborg.
Oh, my God, yeah. Or that Volkanovski fight with Chad Mendes, which retired Chad Mendes.
Volkanovski, look out. That's a mean fucking Australian right there.
He's not ready for Holloway, but he's ready for a top 5 fighter.
That dude is,
Killer.
Get him at a minimum, fucking inside the 8. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Hey, that's it for us. We're going to close out with fucking... Just so we can hashtag him, I think.
wonder if I'll remember this conversation.
Let's move on. Hey, next week, we'll be right back. We actually have some new music releases. We'll fucking talk more about the Mead. We'll actually have another batch started, or we'll be getting ready to. And we'll have a card to talk about.
You motherfucking asshole.
I know. I told you.
This is not how we start off the new year.